Before we get into the tea, I just want to expose today's sponsor, Adam & Eve. Adam & Eve is an online adult store, and they've given me a discount code for you guys over the age of 18 to use. Code SPILL is going to get you guys 50% off of one item in your cart. Also, if you live in Canada or the US, Adam & Eve has free shipping on all orders. The holiday season is coming up soon, so why not take advantage of the code and do some early shopping with Adam & Eve, or just treat yourself. If you ever need help with your order, Adam & Eve has 24/7 customer support, 90-day hassle-free returns, and my personal favorite is the fact that 20% of their profit goes to fighting the spread of HIV and AIDS. So you guys can shop guilt-free knowing that you're helping out a really great cause. As always, all the information is going to be linked down below. Don't forget to use code SPILL, and let's get into the tea. So, it looks like Jaclyn Hill has found herself in the middle of some drama yet again. A girl on TikTok named Paige Aspen posted a series of TikTok videos exposing Morphe and Jaclyn Hill for something pretty disgusting. This girl bought the Jaclyn Hill Vault palette from Morphe.com and says that she's only used it once so far. Well, when she went to use the palette for a second time, to her surprise, one of the shades looked like a moldy loaf of bread that's been sitting in your cupboard for like 2 weeks. The shade Secure in the Armed and Gorgeous palette was literally growing mold from underneath the pan, and it looked like it was starting to cover the entire pan.
You see these? Have some tea. Or TikTok. When I tell you I'm shook, I'm shook. No hate to Jaclyn Hill or Morphe. Just wait. How does this happen to a palette I've touched once? Like, what? Or you say, oh my god, you stored it wrong. I have drawer upon drawer, organized and cleaned every week. One is like one of my favorite palettes. You can see I play in it all the time. Now I'm scared. If anybody knows why this happened, how it happened, let me know. Now I'm out like 80 bucks. I'm kind of sad about it. Tell me. Sex.
Now, this video got a lot of attention on TikTok, and lots of people chimed in to give their opinions. I never clean my makeup, and I have palettes that are years old at home, and none have ever grown mold. That's something in that palette. I've had an Urban Decay palette in my drawer for over 9 years, and it never grew mold. I can confirm this because I actually have one of the original Naked palettes in my drawer, and it still looks brand new. Even though when I was like a teenager, I totally used that palette, it still looks brand new, and there's not a speck of mold on that. As a professional MUA, I've never seen anything like this, ever. Someone sent this to T-Spill on YouTube, and I'm so happy one of you did because this is disgusting. Someone also commented under the TikTok saying that it was the Jaclyn Hill curse, and honestly, it kind of is. Every single launch that Jaclyn Hill has, something goes wrong with it. I mean, when you hear that Jaclyn Hill is having an upcoming launch, you just know that you're about to have a month's worth of drama content to look forward to because something always goes wrong. But as much as it's fun to sit here and speculate and talk about the tea, let's be logical for just a few seconds. I'm sure Jaclyn didn't implant mold spurs into her palette to provide her customers with a side of penicillin. There's a lot of situations out of Jaclyn Hill's control that probably could have caused this. Setting spray could have gotten into it, water, maybe the room it's stored in is a bit damp and it's more sensitive than other eyeshadow palettes. Maybe the girl who used it once went in with a damp brush since the pigmentation is known to be a bit. I'm not saying she did, but there's so many possibilities. Paige ended up posting an update just saying that she cleans her makeup palettes weekly and stores them in the IKEA Malum drawer that we all have, so there's nothing she can think of that would have caused this. Hopefully Jaclyn or Morphe actually reaches out to her and replaces it, because if I were her, I wouldn't use any of those pans, even if they don't look contaminated. Anyways guys, what do you think about this situation? Do you think Morphe should reach out and give her a new palette? Also, side note, take a look at your Jaclyn Hill palettes and let me know down below if you see any mold lurking in them. Next, let's talk about the girl I know you all get so excited for when I bring her up, Tana Mojo. Recently, Jake Paul had a boxing match that he's been training for a really long time now. Jake ended up winning, which means Tana went out partying. She posted on Instagram writing, "These videos all have me so emo. The smiles on everyone's faces after putting our souls into this night for a year, it's so pure. Everyone has truly become a family over the years, and there wasn't a new friend in the building. Everyone was legit just screaming, hugging, crying, and counting our checks. Shout out to Jake for knowing he wouldn't let a single one of us down." Yeah. There's a lot to unpack here. First off, clearly in the video, no one is wearing a mask, which is kind of terrifying since COVID numbers are on the rise again, and they're all packed so close together, it just feels like a breeding ground for Rona to thrive in. Also, Tana saying how everyone is just counting their checks is so tone deaf right now. To make things even worse, she was trying to make partying during COVID sound emotional and deep. She was like, oh, it's just so pure. Like, what is pure about that? What about that situation is pure? Anyways, Christine, who used to be really good friends with Tana Mojo, actually dragged Tana on Twitter after the photos started going around. She said, the fact that I was roommates with Tana is so insane to me. It feels like a different lifetime. What is stupid, talentless, trash? We love to hear it. Anyways, this week, Tana also went on the Call Her Daddy podcast. She tweeted, I went on Call Her Daddy. It was terrifying. I'm still terrified. Was definitely very honest. Scandal incoming? Hope not. Tana was supposed to go on this podcast over a year ago now, but instead she got blackout drunk the night before and slept through her obligations, which is nothing new for Tana. After Tana didn't show up, Alex and Sophia from Call Her Daddy posted a vlog called Tana Mojo us over. They showed how excited they were for Tana to be a guest on the show, and they were just sitting around and waiting for her, and she never showed up. Anyways, a year later, Tana finally made it on the show, and I actually listened to the podcast because Tana said a scandal was incoming, but really there wasn't much tea. But she did address one thing. This past year, Tana got a lot of backlash for how she acted on her MTV show. I feel like the show was a huge wake-up call for her older fans that this isn't someone you want to look up to or support. Every single episode that was posted just got worse and worse. She treated her manager like crap, her friends, doctors, companies she worked with. It was just horrible to watch. When the backlash got overwhelming, Tana tried to blame MTV for editing her to make her sound worse than what she actually was. Now, here's the thing. I do think reality TV shows can edit situations to make them more dramatic than what they really are. What they can't do is edit someone's behavior and the things they say and do and how they treat people. That was all Tana. Well, on the Call Her Daddy podcast this week, Tana once again kinda blamed MTV for how she acted. She said that the producers would stage fights between her best friends, boyfriends, and managers so they would get a great show with great content. That very well could be true, but I just find it so hard to believe that MTV was to blame for how Tana came across in all of those episodes. If that's true, then her manager Jordan is an amazing actor because in those episodes where him and Tana were fighting, he honestly looked really upset with her. Anyways guys, what do you think about the situation? Do you think MTV is probably to blame for staging fights and making Tana look bad? Or do you think Tana makes Tana look bad? Moving on, let's talk about Shane Dawson and Garrett Watts. A lot of people are kind of speculating that Garrett, Andrew, and Shane aren't friends anymore. I have no clue if they are or not, but ever since Shane Dawson got into that scandal this past summer, the two have definitely distanced themselves from him from what we can see. Garrett and Andrew actually started their own podcast together, and so far they have 2 episodes out, and they're actually like the perfect pair to start a podcast. So we know Garrett and Andrew are good, but what about Garrett and Shane? A few days ago now, Garrett posted old pictures to his Instagram story of him and Shane Dawson together. These pictures were like years old from when him and Shane were really close, but it looked like the captions had been changed. One of them said, Universal Studios from open to close. I consume my weight in butterbeer and I'm just butterbeer now. Please ignore the crusty clown and the Simpsons character in the middle. Throwback to like 16 hours ago when I was goofing at the arcade with this actual piece of garbage. People were really confused. Some people thought Garrett was trying to throw shade at Shane and others thought it meant they were friends again. Well, it looks like neither of those are true. Garrett later went on Instagram stories and claimed that he was hacked and it was just someone trying to stir the pot. Attention, if you have received a weird message from me or see anything else weird via my Instagram in the past 9 hours or so, please disregard. Just woke up to some weird activity / notifications and had to change my password because as I slept my account was accessed and they were trolling, projecting weird personal stuff / opinions onto my account, archiving old pics, commenting, tagging, changing captions, sending messages, someone trying to stir the pot, and it was very strange and bad, and now I have my account on lock. trying to catch, correct, reset any changes now, and pardon the WTF inducing moments if y'all experienced anything weird. Anyways, all is well, love y'all, have an awesome Sunday. Although Garrett is claiming that he was hacked, a lot of people think otherwise. Def Noodles actually posted a video on this yesterday, and some people in his comments said, theory, Garrett posted those things on his hacked account himself, so he could speak his mind without getting cancelled by Shane stans. Another person said, honestly though, the Garrett thing seems like some you do when you're drunk and wake up like, oh I gotta do damage control. I've seen a lot of people say that if someone hacked into his account, they would have done a lot worse than just changing a few captions. But honestly, who knows? Garrett claims he was hacked, so let's just go with that for now. What do you guys think about the situation? Do you think he was hacked or trying to cover up his tracks for being a little bit shady?